Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University of Guelph's General Transfer webinar. Just a note that this presentation will be approximately 20 minutes. And then if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please put all of your questions in the Q&A, as you do have admission staff who are behind the scenes and answering all your questions. My name is Lauren Dietrich, and I'm the Acting Liaison Officer, National and Transfer Recruitment here at the University of Guelph. And it is my pleasure to speak with you all tonight. I am a graduate from the University of Guelph, completing a Bachelor of Arts degree, majoring in criminal justice and public policy with a minor in family and child studies. And I love my time at UFG so much that I really haven't left since. I would also like to introduce you to my colleague, Jessie Kennedy.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessie. I am so excited to be chatting with all of you tonight. I graduated from the Bachelor of Applied Science program, completing a major in child studies and a minor in psychology. I've had a couple different positions at the university and excited to be chatting with all of you tonight about the University of Guelph.
And before we get started, I do want to acknowledge that the University of Guelph resides on the lands of the Between the Lakes Treaty No. 3, the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. This land is part of the Dish with One Spoon, a covenant between Indigenous nations to live peaceably on the Great Lakes region. We recognize that this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and acknowledging them reminds us of our responsibility to the lands where we learn, live, and work.
And tonight's webinar is specific for transfer students. Our plan is to highlight many important pieces of admission information specific to the transfer application process. And just to note that it might seem like a lot of information, but know that everything that Lauren and I will be speaking about can be found on our admission website. Please also note that if you have any specific questions about the transfer process, application deadlines, or just general questions, we do have a team supporting us in the Q&A, so please utilize that feature. And after today, if you have any further questions, you can send us an email to admtran@uoguelph.ca.
We will get started with just a few quick general facts about the University and City of Guelph that I always like to highlight for prospective students. The University of Guelph is a mid-sized university with just under 30,000 undergraduate students. Our campus is pretty much entirely pedestrian, so you'll experience a very tight-knit community. It takes about 10 minutes to walk from one side of campus to the other. Just recently, we were ranked #1 in Canada for overall student satisfaction. With close to 30,000 students studying here, there's always events, concerts, lectures, movie nights, and speaker series for you to enjoy. The City of Guelph also has great parks, restaurants, and cafes, so there's always something new to explore as well.
The U of G is a comprehensive university, and we often get asked, what does comprehensive mean? It means that our university is known and recognized for its diversity in program offerings, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, and that there's an extensive amount of both research and teaching taking place. As such, Guelph received over $146 million in research funding last year. This is an extremely important factor to consider with universities, as this money provides opportunities for you as undergraduate students to take part in some cutting-edge research, as well as attracting award-winning faculty to our school, who are in turn your collaborators, your teachers, and also your references as you move on to post-grad, professional, or career opportunities.
And the University of Guelph offers 13 undergraduate degree programs with 85 different specializations or majors. Our largest programs are the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Commerce, and Bachelor of Engineering. We're also known for our smaller programs in animal sciences, agriculture, environmental sciences, and landscape architecture. Our newest program is the Bachelor of Indigenous Environmental Science and Practice. Just to note that as a transfer student, you cannot apply directly into biomedical science, major within the Bachelor of Science program. If this is a major that you have your heart set on, we recommend that you apply into biological science within the Bachelor of Science. And if you were to be accepted, you could then connect with your program counselor and work towards applying into biomedical science. The same can be said of our criminal justice and public policy major within the Bachelor of Arts. If this is a program that you're interested in, we recommend applying to Bachelor of Arts sociology major, and then you can apply. You can speak with your program counselor, and they can help you look at switching or applying into criminal justice and public policy when you are here at Guelph.
And also another note that as a transfer student, you cannot apply directly into the co-op stream, but there is an option to consult with our cooperative education department to determine whether you are eligible to apply for co-op after you have been accepted to the U of G. Eligibility will depend on your academic level, space in the co-op program, and grades. You must have a 70% or higher average in your previous university or college courses. Additionally, the U of G has many incredible experiential learning opportunities that you could take advantage of as a non-co-op student. You can connect with our Student Volunteer Connection Center, and they can put you in contact with community partners for various projects, which some of them you could receive course credit for.
So who falls under the transfer applicant umbrella? A transfer applicant is someone who has attended a post-secondary institution. Even if you did attend the institution 10 years ago, you are still considered a transfer student, not a mature student. Transfer applicants must have completed the 4U level prerequisite courses or equivalents for the program that you are interested in and have applied to. Transfer students, we do look at your high school transcripts to see prerequisites, but we will normally use post-secondary marks for admission purposes. Please note that the minimum admission average does vary by program, so we strongly recommend visiting our website to find the required cumulative average for the program that you are interested in. However, students who do not have the minimum cumulative average required for admission can definitely still apply.
You will be considered depending on available space in the program, and you should submit a personal support letter detailing reasons for past academic performance. This is an optional support letter, and you can also discuss the research you've completed on the program that you've applied to, and also your passion for wanting to pursue this area. Additionally, the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture program and the Diploma in Turfgrass Management require you to submit a background information form. Similar to a personal support letter, in these forms, we want to know why you're interested in this program, any research you have done, and that might involve speaking to someone in the field, and also why you're interested and you're passionate about pursuing a degree in this area of education. And these forms can be accessed on our admission website.
To apply to the University of Guelph, you will apply online using the Ontario University Application Centre, or OUAC, on the 105 application form. Once you apply through OUAC, your application is forwarded to our applicant processing area. At that point in time, we will commence work with your file, determining which documents are required, assigning you a University of Guelph email account and a web advisor account. The initial information will be conveyed to you by email to the address you have listed on your application. And after that, most communication is conducted through your Guelph email account. Your web advisor account is also critical as it allows you to track the status of your application throughout the entire process. For document submission, we require high school transcripts and all previous and current post-secondary transcripts. If there is a gap in time between studies, you must submit a resume of activities. For example, jobs, traveling, or volunteering. A list of jobs and travel dates will be sufficient. All unofficial documents can be sent to applicant@uoguelph.ca. You will need to arrange for official transcripts to be sent from the issuing institution via the OUAC transcript request service, electronically or by mail in a sealed envelope directly to University of Guelph Admission Services. You can contact your issuing institution for more information or to request official transcripts sent through OUAC. And as your documents are received, they're then added to your file. And as a reminder, we do have a team of admission services staff supporting all of the Q&As. So feel free to send all of your questions through the Q&A.
Once we have received all of your documents, your file will be complete, and the applicant processing assistant will forward it to the admission counselor responsible for the program to which you have applied. At Guelph, there is an admission counselor assigned specific responsibility for each of our undergraduate programs. The admission counselors work with the admission committee to evaluate applications and make admission decisions. Once the admission counselor has received your file, he or she will evaluate it to see if a conditional offer can be made from the information and grades that we have received. If so, the offer will be made. If not, we will communicate with you that your file will be on hold until more documentation is available, which is usually final grades. This point of communication could take several weeks, depending on where we are at in the admission cycle and when the admission committee can meet. We do try and communicate a decision with you, conditional or need more information, as soon as possible, but please note that many factors contribute to this timeline, including committee meetings, document deadlines, earlier entry points, and also workflow. As with all the timelines that we're sharing with you today, they are just estimates and they really depend on the volume of work that is coming into our office. Around deadline dates, we do experience a bit of a bottleneck effect, and so your patience is greatly appreciated as we try and work through the number of files and records coming into our office all at once.
And to be eligible for transfer, applicants need to have completed 2.0 credits. This is equivalent to 1 full-time semester of university or 2 full-time semesters of college. Therefore, students who are in their first semester of college diploma program in fall 2020 are not eligible to transfer to Guelph in winter 2021. Students who are enrolled in their first semester of university can be considered for admission to the winter 2021 entry point. You'll need to arrange for submission of midterm interim grades required, and it is possible that an admission decision will not be possible until we receive your final grades from the fall semester.
And we'll touch on briefly now about transfer credits. We know it's a very popular question that we receive from prospective applicants. And so to evaluate and assess your transcript for the transfer credits, the admission counselor will look at your transcript and they will compare it to the university's existing credit equivalency table. If a course has not been evaluated and added to the equivalency table, the admission counselor will then look at course outlines and sometimes consults with our faculty to determine transfer credit. With the exception of our engineering program, it is not required that you submit course outlines unless we contact you and ask for them. For university transfer applicants, it is Guelph's policy to give transfer credit for all previously passed courses while requiring students to complete both the program's residency and degree requirements. We try to assign course for course credit wherever possible, and where a student has completed a course in an academic discipline or area we do not offer, transfer credit is still considered and transfer credits are assigned more generically. For example, a second-year social work course from another institution would typically be a second-year social sciences transfer credit at Guelph because we do not have a social work program. We are not able to pre-assess transfer credit or admissibility. To learn which and how many transfer credits you will receive, you need to apply and submit all the required documents and transcripts, and successful applicants will be notified of their transfer credit in their offer of admission letter. The exception to this is the Bachelor of Engineering. Because of the program's accreditation standards, transfer credits may take longer to assign.
And I know that is a lot of information. So to summarize a little bit, for college transfer applicants, we assign credit where possible, up to 5.0 credits, 1 year for college students who have completed 2 years, and up to 10.0 credits, 2 years for those who have completed 3 years. For university transfer applicants, all courses completed at the university level will be considered for a maximum of 10.0 credits from a previously completed degree program.
However, where articulation agreements or pathways exist, transfer credits are already predetermined and the admission counselor assigns credit as per the agreement. A pathway is an agreement between the University of Guelph and Ontario colleges that links graduates of a certain diploma programs to degree program offered at the U of G. There may be specific admission requirements that differ from general transfer requirements. Pathway programs have been pre-assessed for transfer credit. Upon admission, students will receive a standard block of credit towards their degree program. And as Lauren and I have both mentioned, we know it's a lot of information to take in, so please feel free to connect with our team members specifically for pathways at pathways@uofguelph.ca, and they can provide specific information about pathways and articulation agreements.
And there are also quite a few deadlines for transfer applicants to keep in mind, so please listen closely. If you are applying for a winter semester, you will need to apply by November 15th and have documents to us by December 1st. So that is definitely coming up soon. For the summer semester, our application deadline is due March 15th, and we require all documents to us by April 1st. For the fall semester, for most of our programs, you must apply by May 1st and have your documents to us by June 1st. There are some exceptions to these dates, so you can go online to our admission website to read more information.
Thank you so much to everyone for listening to our presentation today. We just wanted to update you that due to COVID-19, the Admission Services office is currently closed and in-person campus tours and events have been suspended until further notice. However, we do invite you to visit us virtually where you can find videos of our beautiful campus. And on our admission website is where you can find more information specific to the application process, deadlines, and also how to apply.
And finally, I would like to remind you that after today, if you have any additional questions, please email any general questions to admtran@uoguelph.ca, pathway specific to pathways@uoguelph.ca. And after you have applied, please reach us by emailing applicant@uoguelph.ca. And please continue to ask all of your questions in the Q&A. And we thank you so much for your time, and we hope that we see you all soon. So that's a presentation portion. So I think we'll get into just some of the commonly asked questions in the Q&A. So maybe we'll start with on-campus housing here. So I can jump into that one. So residence is guaranteed for all first-year University of Guelph students, provided that residences are open to full capacity next year. So we are committed to the health and the safety of all of our students and staff. So we will be following the direction of our public health unit in determining what those safe residence capacities are looking like next year. You can definitely stay up to date with us on our housing website, so housing.uoguelph.ca. And when we have information to share with you, we will be definitely posting it there. And just to dive a little bit deeper into residence and what that looks like, we have a lot of different options and styles. So singles, doubles, triples, quads. I personally lived in a double room in North Residences as I really wanted a roommate. But again, lots of different options there. We have North, East, and South, and there's definitely pros in each of them. You can even go online to our website to get a 360 tour of what each of the residence rooms looks like if you need more of a visual. And I loved living in residence. Again, I lived in a double room, but I know, Jesse, you lived in a single room.
I did, yes. So I lived in Lennox Addington, which is found on the north side of our campus. And I loved living in Lennox Addington. When I applied to residence, I definitely put Johnson Hall as my #1 choice. It's a beautiful building. It's really our poster image for everything at the U of G. But I was placed in Lennox Addington, and I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. It's really all about the experience that you have within residence.
And if you're asking if you want to be like near the science complex, for example, or maybe like Rosansky, one of our larger lecture halls, really all campus buildings, as I mentioned earlier, they're only about a 10-minute walk from one side of campus to the other. So you're very close to all buildings and all lecture halls. And also here, Jesse, just on the same note of housing, is it necessary or required to live on campus in residence, or what does that look like?
So no, it is not required to live on campus. It really depends on your preferences and your needs. I personally loved living on campus in first year because of the resources that I was able to access right at my fingertips. For example, I could grab a bite to eat on my way to class and then maybe go to the library to study. Definitely very easy to get involved academically with any clubs or sports. But know that we also have family housing units in West Residence if that's a better fit for you. It's near College Avenue and Stone Road for those of you that are familiar with the city of Guelph. Undergraduate and graduate students are eligible for family housing, and if there are vacancies, postdoctorates and research associates may also be considered. Just note that this specific residence does not have a residence guarantee, as there is an application process, and we encourage anyone who is interested to visit the website for the online application. And we recommend applying as early as possible so housing can start assessing your application. And generally they issue offers for available units about 6 weeks before the date that you would move in. And our ability to offer you a family housing unit will also depend on the vacancies. And just as mentioned previously, it is not guaranteed. We do have a lot of students that choose to live off campus, and we have an off-campus University Students Association that will support you along the way. And you can also choose to commute. There are several options with there's GO buses and the Via Rail train stations right downtown. So lots of different accessible options if you're looking to commute as well.
Great, thanks, Jesse. Another really great question here about financial aid. So I can tackle that one. So definitely, yes, financial aid is available for transfer students. At the University of Guelph as a whole, we are committed to an accessible university education. We do believe that every student who is academically qualified to attend the U of G should be able to, and that's regardless of financial obstacles. So that's why we provide you with lots of assistance. That includes over $24 million in merit and needs-based scholarships and bursaries. We also have over 4,000 on-campus jobs and the support of financial aid counselors. So you can book a one-on-one meeting with them to discuss your financial situation and how we can support. The largest employer we have on campus is actually through athletics, but I know that I had friends who worked as like a barista I know that Jesse worked as a tour guide. That's another really great way to get involved and also kind of get a paycheck on the side there. We also recommend that you connect directly with financial services for more information on scholarships, bursaries, and loans. And you can find more about financing your education at uoguelph.ca/finance. All right, and Jesse, just another question here about the option for students who are struggling to submit official transcripts from a past attended institution.
Yeah, so it is required that we do have official transcripts sent from the issuing institution. Our best piece of advice is to start the process as soon as possible, just to arrange for those transcripts to be sent on time and also to provide some buffer time for any potential delays. And again, we encourage you to check WebAdvisor for the status for an application and also any outstanding requirements. It'll show on your WebAdvisor account when we have received and processed your documents.
All right, another question here about additional supports that are available on campus. So we definitely believe in healthy bodies, minds, and souls. You can even join our LGBTQ plus community and different resources and programs, even the Multi-Faith Resource Center, student health services. And as someone who's a huge advocate for mental health, we have counseling services on campus, and they're trained to talk with anyone about your personal journey or maybe a class you're struggling in, or just to provide a listening ear if that's what you need. And also to continue helping with your studies, we have student accessibility services, supported learning groups, everything from peer helpers to bounce back program, teaching assistants, and more importantly, your professors. So in my experience, I found that my professor office hours, they were always willing to meet with me about an assignment, anything like that. It was always an open door policy, which I really appreciated. And they are really known for providing care and attention and that they're giving their students. And you're really more than just a 7-digit student number. We also have the Child Care and Learning Center right here on campus, and they are committed to providing exceptional care to children. Priority is given to students who are enrolled at a degree program here at the University of Guelph. And to find out more information on registration and fees, we recommend visiting uoguelph.ca/childcare. And Jesse, just another question here. So I know some of you tuning in today you have already applied, which is great. So for those who have applied, when will they hear back about their application status?
Yeah, a very popular question for sure that we receive from applicants, and really WebAdvisor is the best way to track the status for your application. So please continue to monitor your WebAdvisor account, and that is where you can see the most up-to-date information. And that is really the best piece of advice that we can give you. Please be patient and continue monitoring your WebAdvisor account. And another question that we also get is about grad studies. So if you are looking at any postgrad program, maybe a master's or PhD, please connect with the Graduate Studies Department. They are their own department, and we encourage you to visit their website. You can download their viewbook and actually specifically contact the advisor for the program that you are looking at applying to.
That's great. I think that's most of the questions there, Jesse. Thanks so much. So please continue sending all of your questions to the Q&A, as we will be around for a few more minutes to answer all of those. But thank you so much, Jesse, for helping out with this webinar tonight. And thank you all for tuning in as well. If you have any additional questions, please remember admtran@uoguelph.ca. You can definitely connect with us there. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you here on campus next year. Thanks so much.